Nick speaking, and welcome to this live stream. And if you're new to the channel and you want to learn about Necrons and more, then please subscribe and hit the bell button to turn on all notifications so you don't miss an upload. Welcome everyone. I hope you are all okay and very excited for this live stream, because I know I am. I've got a lot that I want to go through today, and one of them is going to be this. I've been waiting all day to open this, so I'm going to do that on camera, and of course we're going to have a look at all of the previews from today, so hopefully you'll enjoy it. Now I've got a new setup today. I've got my girlfriend's laptop next to me, so hopefully I can keep a better eye on the comments than I was able to on my phone, so that should be a bonus. Right, let's have a look at the comments, see who we've got in. We've got Craig Hoyland. He says Necrons. I'm not very good at pronouncing these names, I'm afraid, so sorry about that. Ariok the Destroyer. Hi Nick, super excited, as am I. And we have Ice Wolfonic, who also happens to join pretty much every live stream, so thank you for that. He says hi. Okay, we've got lots of people in there. Essex Boys has just joined the stream. He says, good evening, Nick. Good evening. Right, so what a day. I've been working today, which didn't help. I would normally go live during the Twitch feed from the Warhammer team, but I was unable to do that. However, I did time my lunch break to be exactly when the live stream was. I only get half an hour lunch break though. However, I did catch the whole hour and a half show because I'm the manager and I took an extended lunch break. So I did see the stream, which was great, very exciting and lots to talk about. Plus, I collected my illuminor from Games Workshop. Woo-hoo-hoo! And I cannot wait to have a look. As I said, I've been dying all day to open it. So, who is here who didn't see the Twitch stream? How many of you didn't see it? Because if you didn't see it, the most important thing out of everything was the Necrons won the face-off, and I'm going to have a beer to celebrate. Unnamed beer, because, yeah, we don't know advertising. Let's have a beer to celebrate Necrons winning. Necrons! Well, it is Saturday night after all. Me, I was asleep. Me, I was in it. Yay, Necrons. I've seen it. I was waiting for you, Nick. Okay, we are here, and I still have my very long hair. Look at this. Desperate for a haircut. The hairdressers are now open, so yeah, I need to try and get an appointment to actually have my hair cut. Okay, right. Shall we do the dirty deed? Because I'm too excited not to, and open up Illuminor. Yes, shall we do it? I hope you've enjoyed all of the videos I've been doing on the Necrons recently. It's been good fun, exciting, and hard work at the same time, which actually is one reason why I thought I would do a live stream today rather than trying to make videos for everything that came out, because, well, it's just easier for me basically. So, and it's fun, and I enjoy these streams. So we have the box, we have our knife, and we are going to open it. This is exciting. Yes. You can hear plastic rattling around. Going carefully, because I like to keep my boxes. Rules for his still suck. Obviously, I put my video out today, slightly controversial, but, well, yeah, I got a bit naffed off by all of the comments I saw, and I thought, it's not actually that bad. Okay, we have the cellophane off. The cellophane is off. I'm assuming most of you have got this anyway. You probably built and painted it by now, haven't you? His rules are okay, just no invulnerable save. Yeah, but how about if we have the option for a CP to give him lightning field? Maybe? Got mine yesterday. Yeah. I went in to pre-order this with Games Workshop, and at the moment they said we can only pre-order it and send it to your house. And I said, well, will it come on the Saturday or Friday? And he said, well, we're not really sure. And I'm at work on Saturday, so I thought it's probably safer for me just to collect it from the store. Yeah, got this from my local Games Workshop store, which awesome guys there. It's the Portsmouth branch in Hampshire in the UK, and I've had nothing but great service from there. And yeah, they reserved me one. Woohoo! Right, enough of that. Okay, here we go. We have a sprue. Da, da, da. One sprue. I've heard somebody has broken theirs already when clipping it off. So I'm going to have to be very, very careful when clipping it. Does look very cool. It's difficult to really see much on a sprue, which is why I decided in the end not to make an unboxing video. I thought it would probably be a waste of time, really. Maybe when I've got him built, I'll do a sort of a build review video or something. He is very fiddly model to put together. Yeah, I've heard that. Illuminor plus Lich Guard. Yeah, that could work. Hello from Russia. Thanks for your videos. Hello, Russia. I'm not going to try to pronounce your name. The base. Nice big base. Pretty cool base. And the leaflet. Look at that. He does look so cool. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this guy here on his base. Let's have a look. How easy is it to change it? Let's find it. Okay, yeah. Oh, that looks quite easy. I might change him for a Blood Angel, but we'll see. And yeah, we get the rules in there in all different languages, so you do get the rules in here. So literally, Psychic Awakening book, well, unless you want it for the fluff, there's just literally no point in buying it. Okay, so exciting. I can't wait to get building that. I am working tomorrow though, sadly, so yeah, I'm not sure when, but as soon as I get time I will build it. Whenever I open up models, I always expect them to be huge, but they usually aren't. Yeah. Okay, so I've got my usual setup where I can turn the camera around. Hopefully it works. It works. So we, of course, have had a few things happen today. The previews and some new model releases. Well, we've obviously seen them previously, but even so, it's super cool to see them in much more detail. So I'm going to run over everything that's happened on the live stream, and I think we're going to start just like they did in the live stream with the Silent King. Shall we watch this? Shall we watch it? I think we should. What do you think, guys? Yes. Here we go. There you go, there you go. So the first thing I want to say is, wow, wasn't that very well edited? As an editor of videos myself, that was really good. The cuts, the music, and just the whole shebang was like really awesome. But of course, more importantly, an awesome model. And of course, we've got a lot more than just that little trailer, because we've got some extras. And here we go. This is him. Of course, we've seen lots of blurry images and distant images, but we haven't seen an image this close and this detailed. However, this image here, it wasn't actually the Silent King that took my attention. It was this in the background. I have a feeling that this is going to be the new Forge World Necron board. You know, they do a board. Apparently it's being updated. And I reckon that that is the new board. What do you think? It looks super cool if it is. I don't own one of those Forge Worlds Necron boards, but I would like to. It looks really, really cool. Sick. I like the look. Evening all. Hello, modelling for advantage. We've got hate work, and he says, couldn't tell on the video, but I can see it in the picture. It looks sharp. Why do I never notice these things in the background? The background is the first thing I look at. Best looking model in the Necron history. It does look very, very cool. Let's have some closer looks. Okay, there he is, the Silent King. And yeah, I actually really like his cloak. I think I've said this before. Obviously, it does mean that that model is fixed in that, what do you want to call it? What is that? His throne. Yeah, his throne. So obviously it doesn't come off, so you have to play him on the throne. But I absolutely love his cloak. I think it looks super, super cool. And I have to also say that in the live stream, the guys that were talking about this model, they did an awesome job of making it not just sound good, but they did an awesome job of bringing the new fluff to the model. And I must admit, as I'm a fan of the old fluff, the Warhammer team actually made the new fluff sound really good. I must admit, I was quite impressed with that. Okay, let's have a look at the others. We've got his Triarchs, one there, and we've got another awesome picture of the King. And thank God we haven't got a wobbly, bendy staff. It's not Finecast. Imagine if this was Finecast. The outstretched hand feels off. I think he's, because apparently he doesn't actually speak, does he? He used the Triarchs to speak. So I think he's signaling to this guy here to say, talk. But they don't look like they talk much, do they? And then we've got these shields just here. One thing which I really like about the painting is this new blue colour. I'm looking forward to hopefully getting that, and I think I will do my Blackstone in this new paint colour. I'm going to stick to silver for this, and my Silent King will be gold, of course, like all of my Necrons. But I think I will do my Blackstone stuff in this colour. It looks pretty cool. What's your guess for the price? My guess for the price. Actually, I was thinking about this because I know there's been a few complaints about the actual Silent King himself being a bit too small, that he should be bigger. But I was thinking, if he was bigger, that would make the model even more expensive, wouldn't it? So I suppose there's like costs involved, and they have to build to a price point. It's like anything. If they build, they can make anything, but it's how much would it cost, and it's got to be saleable. I think this is going to be between. I reckon it's going to be about £100. Ballpark figure, about £100. Let's have a look at the comments. 160 American dollars, £65, about 100 euros, 3p. I think you might be a little bit off there, Spiky Bridge. Right, let's go back here. And there we are. There he is in all his glory. Not a sniff on any rules or points costs or anything at all, but an awesome looking model, and I definitely cannot wait to get this. And I'm already thinking, how am I going to paint it? Because it looks quite intricate. Oh, it looks quite detailed. So that's the thing with a live stream. You can't edit out what you say. Okay, the Silent King is there. And then we have some stuff which we don't care about. New bike, yeah. This guy here. It's quite interesting how they like chain the book on there. It's like, he's not going to be able to access that in a hurry, is he? I think between 40 and £60. I think it will be more. I'm thinking like the Tesseract Vaults. I don't know how much it is now, but I think I paid £95 for it, or at least that's the Games Workshop retail. So I do think it's going to be about £100. And of course, that wasn't the only big reveal. IP Freely, he says he will be a Supreme Commander, no doubt. Oh yes, I'm sure he will be. There's going to be so many people building Novok lists. Indeed. Hello, my girlfriend's battery is running low, even though she said it's on the mains. Bear with me a second. It might not be plugged in. Oh, it's not plugged in. Okay, bear with me a second while I sort this out. So professional, eh? We have power. We're back. Okay, we are back. We are back. Right, let's have a look at some of these comments. Void Dragon for the win. That is what's coming up. I must admit, I shouted with joy when I saw that it was the Void Dragon. I went, yes! And then I realised I was at work. Martin, how do you say your name? Faustrup? Faustrup, yeah? Give us the Void Dragon. Okay, are we ready for the Void Dragon? Who wants to see it? Come on then. Here we go, boys.
We once knew the gods. They came arrayed in gold and taught us of glory and of lies. They walked from darkness and taught us of death and of fear. They rose from fire and taught us of creation and of oblivion. And for their gifts, we cast them down, bound them to our will. And now they serve us in war.
There he is, the Void Dragon awakens. Very cool trailer. I don't think it's as cool as the Silent Kings trailer. And someone's messaging me. Can I put my phone on silent? So yes, we have, let me get rid of me. There we go, here he is. It's really great to be able to see this now in full detail, because he looks so much better than on that blurry, distant picture. I mean, look at this here. The detail here is amazing. It looks like that's his heart. And very interesting that these little squares are exactly the same has on the Silent King's cloak. So quite mysterious there. Obviously, maybe the Silent King has awoken this guy. Okay, we'll talk more about the monolith in a minute, shall we? We've got some comments about the monolith. So, as I suspected from that blurry picture, these bits here do look like the Blackstone being drawn up. Potentially, this model could be quite fragile, but, you know, without using flying stems, flying bases, I mean, how are they going to try to get it in the air? I suppose it must be stable enough, because otherwise they wouldn't design it. The wings. Okay, let's have a vote now. Do you like these wings or do you not like these wings? Put yes or no in the comments. Let's see how many people like them, and then I'll tell you my opinion. We have Graham Collin in the house. Blackstone thought it was scarabs. There are scarabs there, but these bits here aren't scarabs. There's a scarab on there, but that's Blackstone. Yes, yes. Got some yeses, I guess. We've got lots of yeses to say they like them. Okay, let me tell you what I think. I think I do like them, yes. They're very different and they take a little bit of getting used to, but with the little energy strands in between them and the Blackstone in the wing, I think they do look pretty Necron-ish, so I'm happy with them. His face? I like his face, actually. I think that looks really cool. I think they've encapsulated it looking like a Catan. If you look at the Deceiver and the Nightbringer, I think he sort of fits in very well, but they've also obviously brought a lot more to it. So I'm very happy with it. The question is now, are we going to get the other models redone? What do you think? Do you think they're going to redo the Nightbringer and the Deceiver to this size? Or do you think they won't? What do you reckon, guys? When are we going to get one of those how to play Necrons in 9th edition videos that have started appearing for other factions? Well, we'll have to see once I get the rule book. I do plan to make as many videos as I can around the Necrons, so it's going to happen. But obviously I do have a job, a girlfriend and a daughter and all that stuff as well. So I do the best that I can, basically. He definitely seems to be breaking up here though, doesn't he? So something is going on. So I wonder what the backstory is. It's going to be very interesting. The Necron rules for 9th appears pretty tame. Well, we are talking about Necrons here. Should we have a look at some of the rules then? Okay, there was one thing I wanted to, one thing I'm going to say, I'm going to skip ahead because I don't want to forget to say it. And as I turn the camera around, I made a note of it because I didn't want to forget it. But during the stream, did you notice they said flayed ones? Did you notice that? They were talking about one of the units and their weapons, and they said the weapons basically like the flayed one claws. So I think flayed ones are still around, hopefully. Whether there's a new model or not, though, that's another thing. But yeah, I did want to point that out because that's one thing that stuck out to me. However, the thing that I really wanted to find out about during this face-off was how Reanimation Protocol was going to work, because I think it's going to be a key thing to whether we're going to be good in 9th or not. So I think RP is going to be the biggest thing. We've been told that RP is changing, and we've been told that Games Workshop thought that RP wasn't working very well in 8th edition, and I thought we might get an idea of what RP would be. So as soon as the stream started, I was going RP, 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 but it didn't really happen. I will talk more about RP because they did mention it once. So we'll talk about that as we go through. But yeah, let's go downwards to the face-off. It was fun. I think they did a good job. I think the stream was very enjoyable. Assault Intercessor Squad, who cares? Necron Warriors. Okay. So we know that Necron Warriors are 12 points each, and they're 5 power for a unit of 10. So we know that power 5 is 120 points. So that's something to bear in mind when we look at some of the other stats. So obviously the biggest change, 2 big changes here really for the Warriors. One, of course, is the new Gauss Reaper. 14 inches, rapid fire 1. Strength 5, -2 and 1. And we now have confirmation that any model can be equipped with 1 Gauss Reaper instead of 1 Gauss Flayer. So we can mix these guns. Now in the stream, they were talking about they probably have the same gun in the same unit and then dedicate that unit to whatever they're going to use. But I'm still thinking that mixed guns might be a good idea. You could have some with the flayers, so as you advance, you've got that bigger range, and then you could gradually remove them as they die, so that when you are in close proximity later in the game, your Gauss Reaper then comes into play. Unless, of course, we've got some movement shenanigans to help get that Gauss Reaper into rapid fire range. Admittedly, if it's not in rapid fire range and you can get it within 14 inches, strength 5, -2 AP, is pretty good, but obviously, you know, we want to be rapid firing with that, 2 shots, and 7 inches is very close. So yeah, I think we're going to have to still wait and see on that one. Now, the other thing which was interesting, the new thing, is that we are going to be able to re-roll ones for reanimation protocols. So that is very nice. We still don't know how RP is going to work and what sort of RP warriors are going to have. Potentially, it may only be a 5 or even a 6 RP. But at least we can re-roll the ones without having to use 2 command points on what was a really bad stratagem. I think I used that stratagem once, and that was it. So yeah. So warriors, I am definitely going to try playing warriors when we get an opportunity to play a game, because I do want to try out warriors. But yeah, what are we thinking, guys? Any thoughts on warriors now that we've seen the facts that they can re-roll the ones for RP? RP was broke AF in 8th with all the buffs. Trouble is with 8th is you could easily wipe a unit out, and that just meant that you didn't get RP. That's the only trouble with it. Now in the face-off, in case you didn't see, the Warriors lost the face-off. The Marines went first and they won, and then the Warriors went first and the Warriors won. And then it was a dice roll to see who got the initiative in the 3rd round. The Marines won the dice off and they won the battle. So it was 2-1 to the Marines and the Warriors lost. However, he did mention RP in that battle, and it was only once. And he said that after 1 round of shooting, there were 7 warriors left. He had a unit of 20. Then he said that the next turn, 4 of them got up, which confirms that we're not getting an after save for RP. So you're gonna be doing it at the beginning of your turn once again, just like we always have been. I always thought that maybe an after save would be better, even though maybe not as fun. But I think an after save would solve the issue that it's easy to wipe a unit out and stop them having RP. But it is nice to have a different rule to what everyone else has. So I do like the fact that you do it at the beginning of the turn. But yeah, I was wondering how they were going to do it. So I still have no idea what this new RP rule is going to be like. But supposedly it's going to be better. So any thoughts on RP? Let's have a look at the comments. Even if the RP has not changed, it is possible with the 2 reanimators and a cryptic. It is possible to get a 2+ RP on warriors. Okay, yeah, stacking. They're kind of useless to me. Whenever I played, I lost a lot when I bought them with their generic stuff. Plus, I'm not good at preparing for combat. I started playing warriors right at the beginning of 8th when we were index. But I gradually turned off and went straight to Immortals, and well, Immortals have just been awesome for me. My Immortals have never really failed me. So it is hard to think, why would we take Warriors over Immortals unless Immortals have got worse or a lot more expensive in points. So it's going to be interesting. I think we still have to wait to really find out more. Okay, let's move on to the next battle, round 2. Ding, ding, ding. So this time they pitted 3 bikes against, well, 12 scarabs. Now this was interesting because they went for 12 scarabs because they thought that the points would match up better, so it's more even. But I wonder, can we actually take a unit of 12 scarabs? I'm assuming we won't be able to. Let's have a look, because we have this. Oh my god. 3 to 6. You're joking. We can only have 6. I can't believe that. So, well, in the old days, it used to be 10. And then they dropped it down to 9 because it suited how they did the power ratings. But now, 6. If this unit contains 4 or more models, its power rating is increased to 4. Every model is equipped with feeder mandibles. I can't believe it. I'm flabbergasted. I did not spot that earlier. 6. Can you believe that, guys? I think it's 3 to 6 because it's a Domitus data sheet only. Okay. Yeah, that might make sense. Okay, I won't panic yet. I won't panic yet. Anyway, let's have a look at these guys. Right. So obviously there's only one thing really that's new here, and that is the attacks. And they've gone back to a little bit like they used to in the old days. So when resolving an attack made with this weapon, an unmodified hit roll of a 6 automatically scores a hit and successfully wounds the target. Do not make a wound roll. So we've still got our 4 attacks. Obviously it's weapon skill 4, but any 6s not only auto hit but auto wound. That's great. I'm really liking that. When I read this data card from the leaks, which was a bit blurry, I misread this as auto wounds on a 6, and I thought, oh, it used to wound on a 5, now it's a 6. But this is so much better. So yeah, I'm liking that. That is really good. Don't think there's anything else which has changed. Maybe in 9th edition we'll actually find out what swarm and Scarab swarms means. Will we have any special rules for swarm? Because there wasn't a swarm rule in 8th edition whatsoever. So it'll be interesting to see if we've got anything for 9th. Okay, so they battled it out, these 3 bikes and the Scarabs, and the result was that the Scarabs... Hold on, what happened? No, the Space Marines went first. They did the Space Marines first every time, for whatever reason. Space Marines went first, and they won. Scarabs went second, and they won. The Scarabs won, so it's 1 each. Then they rolled off. The Scarabs got the initiative, and the Scarabs won again. Apparently, in 1 round, the Scarabs wounded 2 bikes and got the other bike to half wound. So they did a great job taking out these bikes. So well done, Scarabs, our first victory. I do like Scarabs. They've always been fun to play. So do we like the new Scarab rules? Assuming we can take more than 6 in a unit, because 6 would be pretty pants. So max 6 and not 9. Well, we believe that this may just be the data card for the Indomitus sets, and maybe when we get the Codex it might be more. But how long are we going to wait for the Codex? The Codex may be August, September. Does that mean we'll only be able to play with 6 until then? If it is just 6, I think that would be a bit devastating for them, to be honest. I like to play big units of Scarab swarms. I know a few people play smaller ones and just put them on an objective, hide them behind a building. I generally don't play them like that. I tend to be a bit more aggressive with them. Send them out. I like sending them out with the Wraiths, nice little extra distraction units, and when they get in, they've got a good amount of attacks to do a good amount of damage. 4 wounds. Yes, weren't they 3 wounds before, weren't they? 4 wounds. Okay, that's interesting. Maybe this is their real stats now, 3 to 6. Aggressors, how many Indominus box sets are you getting? I'm getting 2. I'm splitting them with Richard from Captain Morgan's Wargames, and we're having, well, obviously, I'm having the 2 Necron halves with a rule book, and he's having the 2 Space Marine halves with a rule book. We plan on, we're going to get together and we're going to open one of the boxes together, and we'll have the Necron half of us opening it here on my channel, and then we'll have the Space Marine half of us opening it on his channel. We thought that might be quite nice to do. So yeah, 2 boxes, which I have considered. Do I really need 3? Because I do like to have I do like to have units in 3s, but I think 2's enough. 2 reanimators. I was thinking about the Necron Warden. If I need another one, I've got a single old school Immortal, the big old school Immortal, and I've got him on a bigger base with loads of Scarabs, like a scenic model. He would make quite a good Warden. So I was thinking, if I need another Warden, I've got that. The Murder Buckets, 2 units of 2, potentially might want another unit of 2. But I don't think it's worth paying the money to get a 3rd set. I think I'll just get some off of eBay, because, well, people are going to be selling them, aren't they? Splitting them, selling them. I'm open for more Marines. That makes sense to use green stuff. Maximum 94. That is a lot. Okay, I think I may have missed some of the chat. Modelling for Advantage, worth waiting to see if they release an alternate sculpt later as multi-parts. Yeah, that is another good consideration, because these are all push-fit models, and the general consensus is that, for example, the Reanimator, which is a push-fit one in this box, maybe when the Stalker version of it comes out, that will be a multi-kit, so you can make a Reanimator and a Stalker with that kit, and that might be a totally different kit where you can repose it, etc. So I think it probably is worth holding off. Would be cool to have a unit of 3 murder buckets, so you can look out for your characters. Yeah, I'm assuming that's why they've made it a unit of 2 rather than 3. For that very reason. Okay, so it's 1-all in the face-off, and then round 3 was Blade Guard Veteran Squad and Skorpekh Destroyers. Power rating of 6, so slightly more than the 5 for the Warriors. So what's that? Probably about 150 points. But of course, you've got to pay for your war gear usually as well. So, you know, they're going to be more expensive than that. But obviously, the key thing here, the first thing that we look at, is how many you can have in a unit. And we have that answered. It is only 3. Only 3. Which was another reason why I was thinking I only need 2 boxes of this was not a starter set, this box set. 2 units of 3 Skorpekh Destroyers, I'm sure would probably be enough. And if I really want to get another unit, well, again, I could probably go on eBay and get them. There is a little niggle in me that thinks maybe I should get 3 of these boxes, but I think I'm going to save the money, because we've got a lot of other stuff coming. Monolith, the Silent King, you know, all big models. The Catan, you know, they're all going to be quite expensive, big models. Was not a fair fight. It was a sad if only 3 can be taken. Yeah, I know. It's a shame, really. 3 is quite a big restriction. I would like to have seen 5 or 6. I mean, if they're destroyers, you know, our other units are 6s, apart from the heavy destroyers, I suppose. Just 3 just doesn't seem quite enough. Anyway, let's have a look at some of these stats. So 3 destroyers, they can move 8 inches, which is becoming quite standard for Necrons, it seems. Weapon skill, ballistic skill of 3, strength and toughness of 5, with 3 wounds each, 3 attacks each, and a 3+ save. And then we can take between 0 and 1 plasma sight, which does move 8 inches as well, which is pretty handy because he needs to keep up with them. If this unit contains a plasma sight model, its power rating is increased to 7. 1 Skorpekh Destroyer in the unit is equipped with Hyperphase Reap Blade. Yes, we're calling it a Reap Blade. A Reap Blade. Every other destroyer in this unit is equipped with Hyperphase Threshers. A plasma sight is equipped with a monomolecular proboscis. What a stupid name. How are you supposed to say that quickly in a game? Yeah, I'm gonna attack you with my monomolecular proboscis. Okay, let's have a look at these weapons. So the Reap Blade, I'm naming it that, is +2 to strength. So we are looking at strength 7, -4 AP, and a decent damage of 3, a straight fixed 3. We love fixed numbers. It's very rare for us, so a fixed number is very useful indeed. And then we have the Hyperphase Thresher, which is strength user, so it's going to be strength 5. Obviously, we've got more to come down below at the moment. So let's just have a look at these. Minus 3 AP with 2 damage. And then when the bearer fights, it makes 1 additional attack with this weapon. Okay, so basically he's got a harder hitting weapon, and then he's got, well, at least one of them has, and then obviously the other ones are just sort of more of a standard melee weapon, I suppose, with the strength 6. However, of course, we can change things by the plasma sight, which I'm going to talk about now. So the plasma sight. At the start of the fight phase, if this unit contains a plasmacyte model, it can inject tainted energy. If it does, roll a d6, and on a 1, one Skorpekh Destroyer model is destroyed. What? Okay. Okay, so if you roll a 1, you lose a whole destroyer. Gone. And you can only take a unit of 3. That's high risk. That's high risk. And to the end of that phase, add 1 to the strength and the attacks characteristics of Skorpekh Destroyer models in this unit. Okay. I won't be taking a plasmacyte. And the reason is, I've got really bad experiences with canoptic spiders rolling 1s. Every time, every single time, you generate a Scarab, you roll the dice, a 1. So yeah, I don't think I'll be taking him. What about you guys? What do you think of that plasmacyte? Are you going to take him? I mean, you've already got a nice strength 7 weapon and some strength 6 weapons. Okay, you can take it up to strength 8, maybe extreme circumstances. But how many points is a plasmacyte? I suppose that's the big question. If it's only a few points, you could just stick him there, use it in an emergency, but it's definitely not something I'm going to be using like every turn. Let's have a look at the comments. 15 points. I won't be taking it. It's not worth it. I will take him just so that I can bulk up my list a bit, and if I fail, then it and just be a funny story. Yeah, only for a unit of 6. Yeah, exactly. It's like you're losing a third of your units. I think it's really bad. I'm not happy with that. Why? I mean, I would be happy if it said, if you roll a 1, you know, you lose a wound, or you lose, well, how many wounds have they got? 3 wounds. I mean, even a D3 wound is very risky. I think just you take a mortal wound. You roll a 1, you take a mortal wound. How about that? I think that would have been enough. Not worth it. They will be 6-man units. Do you think? Do we think that these data cards are literally just for the Adonis box set? Yes, 3 is only for this box. Okay, well, if that is the case, then that's fine. But yeah, if it's 3, I'm not going to be taking it. Rather spend the points on an extra model. It's an extra wound. Does it need to attack? It doesn't have to, no. You can choose. Well, let's read. At the start of the fight phase, if this unit contains a plasmacyte model, it can inject. So no, it doesn't have to. You do get to choose. So, let's have a look. What else have we got? We've got reanimation protocols, which we don't know anything about, but at least they have it. And then we have hardwire for destruction. So reroll hit. Oh, you can't see it. You can only see my face. There you go. Reroll hit rolls of a 1 for attacks made by models in this unit. And slightly unfair fight maybe, because obviously we know what's coming up is going to be not him. This guy, the Skorpekh Lord, which of course has the United Destruction ability. So reroll wound rolls of 1 for attacks made by models in friendly Dynasty Destroyer Cults units whilst within 6 inches of this model. So in theory, for taking destroyers, you're probably going to have the Lord with them. In theory, you should be able to re-roll 1s to hit and wound with these guys, which will be a lot better. What I want to see is more big Necron models, and luckily my prayers have kind of been answered by the Canoptic Doomstalkers. Indeed, indeed. So that is basically their rules. They are infantry, Necrons Destroyer Cult, Dynasty, and Skorpekh Destroyers. So they, of course, don't have the fly keyword, but there you go. So that's those guys. So yeah, they were up against these Blade Guard veteran squad, and they fought out, and the Space Marines went first, and the Space Marines won, and then the Necrons went first, and the Necrons won. And then they had a roll-off, the Space Marines won the roll-off, and the Space Marines won. So our Skorpekh Destroyers lost. Not a good start. Yeah, so Skorpekh Destroyers, they obviously can do a lot of damage. I am concerned by the numbers in the unit, but with the Lord next to them and maybe other buffing units, I'm sure we'll be fine with them. And don't forget, we've got a lot more stuff that we don't know about still. Things like the tactical reserves, how it's going to work, and how we can sort of take advantage of the flanking rules, etc. Okay, don't forget the Space Marines have a 4+ invulnerable save too. Yes, that's true. Yeah. Now hold on. Didn't. Oh, he must have been talking about the Space Marines. I remember him saying, bearing in mind I was at work, so I was answering the phone and stuff at the time. I remember him saying that he failed all of his invulnerable saves. Oh no, that was on the Skorpekh Lord. That was on the Lord. Okay, so that's the Destroyers. Let's have a look at the next battle round. The Necron Overlord versus the Primaris Captain. Our Overlord looks so cool. What a great sculpt. So, Overlord, power rating of 5, and very, very different, this model. Now, again, I don't know, is that because it's just the data card for the Indominus box set? But it seems like this Overlord has no other options. It just comes with his Tachyon Arrow and a Hyperphase Glaive. So where's this Warpsight option and all the other options? And he's not called Overlord something, he's called Overlord. Now let's have a quick look in the codex. Let's turn around. Let's have a look in the codex a second. I just want to confirm something. Overlord. So yeah, just I was wondering if it said Necron Overlord, but it just says Overlord. So yeah, I think it has to be an anonymous sheet, doesn't it? Just to make life easy. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so Illuminor has a staff which is now only 18 inches, and the Overlord gets a tachyon arrow, which is a whopping 120 inches. Obviously, the same tachyon arrow distance as on, oh, who's got it? Trazyn, isn't it? Yeah, Trazyn, I think. However, this one is strength 12 and not strength 10, so it's even more powerful. -5 AP, D6 damage. Why does everything have to be random? And the bearer can only shoot this once. However, he does have a tachyon arrow, which is a very nice weapon to have, even though it's only once use. And then he has this hyperphase glaive, which is +2 to strength, so strength 5, so it could be strength 7, the same as a war sign, -3 AP and D3 damage. Let's have a quick look at the comments. Tachyon arrow was always a point sink. Yeah. Anraker. Yeah. Right, it's the Traveller. No, it's Anraker. Ah. Funny enough, I looked this up because I couldn't remember it earlier, and then I've forgotten. It's come back to me looking up rules. What better way to spend a Saturday night, eh? Looking up rules for Warhammer. Okay, we're going to confirm it because I don't want to get this wrong. Trouble is, I don't really play these characters much. Right, it is Anraker the Traveller. Okay, confirmed. Why not give the new Overlord a pistol? Well, pass. Right, okay, let's have a look. So he's got living metal, which again, we don't know if the living metal rule is changing. Let's turn me around. And we've got a phase shifter, 4+ invulnerable save. We now have some differences, a rules change to My Will Be Done. So in your commands phase, you can select one friendly dynasty unit within 9 inches of this model. Absolutely loving 9 inches. Brilliant. That's so useful. Until the start of your next command phase, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. A unit can only be selected for this ability once per phase. So My Will Be Done now is only +1 to the hit roll, which, let's be honest, that's all we used it for anyway. I think I did advance with +1, like twice. Is it? I can't even remember actually. Was it advance or was it +1 to assault? No, it's +1 to advance, wasn't it? Yeah. So +1 to advance is now gone, and My Will Be Done doesn't give you plus what? I have no idea what it does. Oh, the shame of it. The shame. I'm holding my head in shame. I only really use it for +1 to hit, let's be honest. But we do have Relentless March, which does give us a +1 to advance. Any unit within 6 inches of this model is selected to make a normal move or an advance. Add 1 to the distance it can move. So it's an aura ability now rather than My Will Be Done. So we get +1 to movement and advance. The Overlord gave +1 to advance in 8th gen. Yes, that's correct. +1 to normal move is certainly new. Yeah, there you go. So it's +1 to advance, +1 to hit before. Does the Aurora affect the caster as well? I believe it does, or at least it should do. It is much better now. I agree, Martin. So yeah, I'm happy with that. That's pretty cool. Slightly concerned about the lack of the options. Where is the resurrection or blah, blah, blah. But well, we're sort of thinking that this is just the data card for the box set. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. So the Overlord went up against the Primaris Captain. Let's have a look at my results. So the Overlord, he went, so the Space Marine went first and won his round. The Overlord went second and won his round. And I believe he won the initiative again, went first, and he won his round. So the Overlord won 2-1. And that brings us to 2 wins each. So the Scarabs and Overlord won, and the Warriors and the Skorpekh Destroyers lost. We're ready for one more face-off. Upset the Marines has more attacks than us. Yeah, but Necrons have never really been that great in assault. I mean, the old characters, you know, they always had really bad initiative. Their weapon skill used to be really bad, and they've never been that great in assaults, our characters. Okay, round 5, the last round, was the Judicaire versus the Skorpekh Lord. Power rating 4, power rating 7. Seems a bit unfair, doesn't it? However, this guy's pretty good. Skorpekh Lord, movement 8 inches, the same as the Destroyers, and he has a very nice weapon skill and ballistic skill 2. Strength and toughness 6 with 6 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 10, and a 3+ save. This model is equipped with Enmatic Inhaler, Flensing Claw, and Hyperphase Harvester. He's got a lot of weapons for all of his arms. The Enmatic Annihilator is an 18-inch shooting attack with an assault 2d3. So it's still random. It's still random, but potentially, if you roll well, you could get 6 shots out. Strength 6, -1, and blast. We have a blast weapon at last. So that's quite nice, little blast weapon, 18 inches. 18 inches, there you go. Seems like the new norm for Necrons. Flensing Claw is user strength, so strength 6. It's -1 AP, just does 1 damage, but he gets to make 2 hit rolls instead of 1 for each attack made with this weapon. So basically he's going to have 8 attacks. That's a good amount of attacks. We have Pezapoo. How do, Pezapoo? Hello, Pezza. Nice to see you in the stream. So, yeah, lots of attacks. That's good, obviously, for taking out single wounded miniatures. Then you have the option to attack with the Hyperphase Harvester, which is +2 to his strength. So this is now a very nice strength 8 and -4 AP with 3 damage, fixed 3 damage. When resolving an attack with this weapon, subtract 1 from the hit roll. So you are going to be hitting on 3s as opposed to 2, but that's still very good. So at least it's not 4s. Plus, of course, we got his United Destruction ability. So he can re-roll wounds of 1s, and he's got Hardwire for Destruction, so he can re-roll his hits of 1s as well. So all in all, he's going to be hitting and wounding pretty successfully with both of these attacks, and has his 4+ invulnerable save. So overall, he looks pretty tasty. I'm quite happy with him. And in the battle, it was quite interesting actually. So in the battle, I believe that this guy here, the Judicaire, has a special rule, which basically means that he fights first, even if he's charged. At the start of the fight phase, select one enemy unit within 6 inches of this model. That unit cannot fight until all other eligible units have done so. So the Space Marines went first, and apparently the Skorpekh Lord won the fight, and then it was the Necrons' turn to go first, but they ended up obviously attacking second. So effectively the Space Marines went first again, and that time the Space Marines won, so it was 1-1. They rolled for initiative, and the Necrons won the initiative. However, once again, on the attack, the Space Marines attacked first, and I believe this is when he said that he saved a lot of invulnerable saves, his 4+ invulnerable save on the Skorpekh Lord. He survived the attack, and then he killed the Space Marines for a Necron victory. So we won 3 out of the 5 face-offs. There's only one thing to say. Where's my daughter? Necrons! So yeah, that was good. So Skorpekh Lord, I think with the destroyers, it's going to be a very nice combo. We have Captain Morgan's Wargames in the channel. Yeah, the destroyer and Lord looks useful. Yes, well, we'll find out, Richard, when we face off against you as soon as we can. Okay, I think that was it. Yes, that was it. That was everything that was previewed today. So let's go to the chat and see what everyone is saying. Hope you enjoyed the little review. And the computer keeps going off. We have lots of Necrons in the chat. There will be a starter set coming soon too, will there? Okay. I know that they said that the starter sets, original starter set that we've got now has finished. Let me just move this round so I can chat and you can see me. There we go. Hopefully that's better. Will Void Dragon be the best shard now, Nick? Who knows? Possibly. It's a new model, so it's probably going to have decent rules, I would have thought. Richard, I'm worried for your orcs, mate. And so you should be. So you should be. Obviously, Richard and I, as I said, we're going to go halves with the box set, and we plan to build the models, paint them, and we're going to play a game with just the models from the box set, which I think will be fun. So I'm looking forward to that. Sounds like a good idea to me. We need to talk about the new monolith and the golf ball. Absolutely, we do. I have started to change my view on that monolith. When I first saw it, I thought, wow, that looks cool. And then when I looked a bit closer, I thought, not really sure I like it. But now I've looked very close at it and I'm liking it again. I think it does look actually pretty good. Sorry, I've got my daughter coming down the stairs. I think she wants to come in the room. Don't forget the new Necron paints. Yes, we've got new Necron paints coming, which is nice to see. I'm looking forward to getting the green for that, Blackstone in particular. 4 death rays for the win on the monolith, yeah. I'm looking forward to find out the rules. I do think that the rules will be pretty good for this monolith. And I think one reason why the rules were so bad on the old one was because they didn't really want to sell it, because they probably didn't have much stock left, knowing that there's a new one coming. People going to cry OP on 9th edition Necrons. Possibly, although not Necron players, obviously, judging from what I'm seeing on Facebook. So obviously, I do appreciate everyone being in the stream. We've got currently 133 people. I haven't actually kept an eye on how many people have been watching during the stream, but thank you everyone. Appreciate it. If you've joined and you're not subscribed yet, I would appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. That would be awesome. And if you want to support the channel in any other way, then just liking and sharing the videos really helps. And if you want to support the channel in a monetary way, I do have my join button where you can support the channel from just 99p. And everything that I get via that will be going back in to the channel. In particular, at the moment, it'll be going back into buying all of these new models so that I can do videos about them, basically. What do you think will be the Necron tactics in 9th edition? It's very hard to say really at the moment because we just don't know enough, but I think it will be about controlling midfield as always. So I think it will be a case of deploying, pushing forward a little, and then blasting as much as you can before they get into the assaults. I don't see the join button. It's there, right hand side, just under the like and dislike button. And we have 85 likes and 1 dislike. My phantom disliker. Actually, it was disliked before I even went live, as always. Do you expect more than one new dynasty? No, I think we will just get one new dynasty. Will Immortals get updated models? Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Joshua Sanders. I appreciate that. I always enjoy your content. Keep it up. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Where was that immortal question? Now I'm trying to use the mouse on my girlfriend's computer, which is not connected to. Warden lets you get out of combat. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. He's going to be very, very useful. You can obviously give a unit the ability to get out of combat. Whether we'll be able to give that to our shooting destroyers, because it's going to have to be quite close, but it'll be very useful for warriors and immortals, that's for sure. The person who always gives you a dislike is really dedicated. Yeah, absolutely. My phantom disliker, I call him, or her. Could be a her, but I doubt it because I've got 0.003 females watching my channel. What do you think of the Plasmamancer? I've not really seen his rules. I have to be honest. I've seen some of the leaked stuff, but I haven't paid too much attention to it because I'm not a huge fan of seeing leaks. I like the excitement of going through, you know, official releases. So I had a quick look, but yeah, I can't actually remember too much about the Plasmamancer now. Basically, 2 females watching your channel. Yeah, one of them I know is Demonica Blue because she always comments on my channel, and then Love Minis. She's a gal. So there you go. I know my 2 female subscribers. Will the tall reanimators things make it so turn 2? Not quite sure what that means. Someone needs to call out the unbalance of the box rules. Space Marines are overpowered. Well, they won this face-off. Necrons did, I mean. Necrons won the face-off. The new dynasties may be key. Yes, I think the new dynasty rules will be key. I think you're absolutely right. And maybe that's going to help with some of the things that we are worried about, like Gauss Reapers and things. Take this dynasty and all of your weapons get extended by 6 inches. Who knows? We don't know. That's the thing at the moment. It is all guesswork. But hopefully we will get... I'm trying to get this in a better position. I look a bit dodgy on this camera because it's so wide angled. There we go. Okay, so look, the Canoptic Reanimator could also be called Canoptic Easy Target. It will never see turn 2. I don't know, because it's nice. It's a bit like this beer can. It's nice and slim and tall and slender. But the new terrain rules, if you can fit that behind a 5-inch tall piece of terrain, then it's going to be safe. So is it really going to go down that easily? The good news is that most of the Adonis buyers will be Space Marine fans, so it's likely to get Necron plastics for cheap. Yeah, hopefully. The destroyers are being replaced with Lockhurst destroyers. Yes. Yeah. You can hide it behind a tree. Are you reviewing the new Pariah book anytime soon? I know I made a video about the Pariah released. I think it was called Necrons Get Shafted, something like that. Basically, no, I won't be buying it because I've got Illuminor here, and it's got his rules in there, and that's all I need because there's nothing else in there that I'm interested in. So I won't be reviewing it, I'm afraid. Most of the people in my local group seem to want the Necron half, but that's just anecdotal. Do you think Games Workshop will replace the Necron destroyers? I really hope not. I much prefer the old models. Yeah, there's new destroyers coming, so I think they're definitely gone. Pretty much any unit that's got a green rod is gone, with the exception of the Lord. We don't know about the Lord yet because he does have a green rod in him. Well, not in him, but on his staff. I finally have 9 destroyers. Really hope they will still be able to be fielded. You'll definitely be able to field them, the old models. But yeah, there's new ones coming. What time will the pre-order be out tomorrow? No, it's not out tomorrow. But for the Indominus box set, it's on the 11th. And I don't know what time. I'm guessing it's going to be 9 o'clock. Does anybody actually know the time that pre-orders go up? Because I don't usually pre-order much, to be honest. Nick only uses old models anyway. Yeah, pretty much. I'm actually quite looking forward to having, I'm going to do it, 3 units of destroyers with the really old Raider ones, a unit of them, a unit of the current ones, and a unit of the new ones, all in one army. That'd be cool. 10 a.m. Okay, so it's 10 a.m. 10, yeah. Lots of people are saying 10 a.m. they go for pre-order. In the stream, they said that hundreds of thousands of people will have them. But obviously, knowing that these are going to be a one-off, a lot of people are going to buy more than they want, aren't they? I mean, you see pictures on Facebook of people buying like 10 boxes of these things so they can try and sell them on afterwards. So I really hope they've got enough because, well, we don't want any disappointed people, do we? I have to buy one of those. Yeah, I have to buy 2. Everyone is saying 10 a.m. British summertime, which is 5 a.m. EST. Do you think we will have good units against psychic type enemies? No. I don't think anything will change in that regards. You're going to want some Scarab swarms up front to take the mortal wounds. Luckily, I called my game store a while back and they said they'd hold one for me. That's handy, yeah. That's what Games Workshop did for me. They held an illuminor for me. There has also been an image of a non-heavy Lockhurst Destroyer. Yeah, they released an image of the. It was the same unit, wasn't it? But with two different guns. I think it was the same actual model. That thing was not heavy. Do you think the Indominus box? They said Pariah thought we're going to get Pariah. No, sadly, the Pariah was just the region in space that they're fighting over. Skorpekh Lord reroll wounds, and Destroyer Lord can reroll hits for all destroyers. Yeah, the Skorpekh Lord seems to be very similar to our current Destroyer Lord. Two different guns, same model. Yeah, exactly. So either the destroyers will have two different gun options, or it's a heavy destroyer and a normal destroyer like we currently have, which is probably more likely because obviously the heavy destroyers also have green rods, so they'll be getting rid of those. I still believe we'll get pariahs. Well, we can only live and hope. You never know. You never know. But I think flayed ones are the first ones that really need to be redone. When do we get the outsider? Who knows? Now, obviously, I don't know if you know this, but I have a Void Dragon model which I converted. Let's see if I can get him up. Yeah, let's do some digging. We've got time, haven't we? No one's in a rush to go to bed, are they? Surely. Right, I've moved the camera, so let's see. Okay, let's just adjust this. Right, here we go. Next we can find my Void Dragon. So I go to my blog. I do have a blog, but I don't blog much now. The return on the blog wasn't very good, hardly any comments or interactions. But I've been blogging since 2010, 101 posts all the way up. And then 2018, 7 posts. This year I've done 2 posts, so yeah, I don't really blog. Anyway, let's have a look so I can find this. Void Dragon. Of course, my Void Dragon is much smaller. Okay, so I based my conversion on this picture here, which I got off of Google, and I made this out of a Nightbringer and lots of green stuff, well, grey stuff, but it's the same. I also used a Reaper miniature for the leg and the arms. The head was an old Demon Prince head, and I cut the horns off and I re-angled the horns. Just signing into my girlfriend's laptop because it's just gone off. Pin incorrect. Okay, we'll forget that. So yeah, I had a lot of fun making this guy. And I'll show you him painted as well. The only issue I've got now is, of course, my Void Dragon is a lot smaller than the new one's going to be. But there you go. But there he is, all painted. Not my best paint job. I had a bit of trouble with that red cloak, to be honest with you. But he's good enough. He's good enough. I think I did a good job of making that image come to life. Played ones need to be make a return. Yeah, we definitely need new flayed ones. We're all talking about flayed ones in the chat. Flayed ones. They're still in stores, so they are still current. Oh, it's a shame. Surely flayed ones will be redone, surely. Can't get any worse. Okay, so what time is it now? 10, half 10. Wow. Okay. Probably going to end the stream soon. Just make sure there's no important comments that I need to respond to. We're all sold out on Games Workshop. Thanks, Nick. Have a good night. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Okay, so I think we're going to wrap it up now. So, yeah, thank you, everyone, for joining. It's been absolutely amazing to spend the Saturday night with you, having a chat about Necron. So I really hope you enjoyed it. Watch out for Monday's video. Got my last 8th edition battle report coming up. So, yeah, that's a lot of fun. So I enjoyed that game. Okay, that's it from me. Thanks for watching and beam me up.